Da hinten sind ganz viele Affen. Auf der Lichtung sitzen sie rum. Die ganze Lichtung ist voller Affen. Servus!
Hey there! Toby and I made it up to Gosainkund and its beautiful holy lakes. The landscape up here is just mind-blowing. We needed about 2.5 days to come up here from the Langtang Valley. And if you already watched our Langtang Trek video, then you probably already know what we are here for. First, we want to try to climb the more than 5,000 meter high Suya peak, and then we want to cross the Lauribina Pass and trek through Helambu.
Tony, that was the plan, but...
Yeah, there is indeed a small problem. But first of all, take a look at how we got up here. A Gosainkund Trek usually starts either with a hike from Tunche to Shin Gompa or from Syabru to Thulo Syabru. That is also where we start our trek, because we've been hiking the Langtang Valley before we came here. If you're well adapted to the altitude, it's possible to cross the pass from here within just 3 days. Without proper acclimatization, however, it's recommended you take a minimum of 4 or 6 or even more days. In total, this is day 13 on the trail in our long hike from the Tibetan border to Kathmandu. We start off by climbing about 1000 meters of altitude up to the tea houses of Phoprang Danda. For people in some kind of a hurry, there seems to be a shortcut directly to Cholongpati and Lauribina. This trail, however, is said to be even steeper than the normal path, so we decide to keep right. Some time later, we happen to meet some local forest citizens.
Da hinten sind ganz viele Affen. Die ganze Lichtung ist voller Affen.
With a great view towards Ganesh Himal, we enjoy our lunch. This time spring rolls and fried noodles. After the break, the trail continues a lot less steep through dense old forest towards Shin Gompa. Shin Gompa features several very comfortable lodges. We chose the one on the cliffside, having a great sunny terrace, somewhat resembling a natural balcony. Also, there is a cheesery and a small temple here, as the word Gompa in the village name suggests. We continue the next morning through lush forests. The first 2 hours to Cholongpati, the path climbs gently along the ridge and offers great views of Langtang Himal. After Cholongpati, the trail gets steeper again. We ascend to Laudebina, passing some more or less godly looking Buddhist shrines. Slowly, Manaslu Himal begins to appear behind the Ganesh range. A view like that of course calls for a break. And so we decide to have lunch in Laudebina and enjoy some Tibetan tukpa soup. A couple of 100 meters above Laudebina, you'll find some more Buddhist shrines and chortens. The view from here is truly breathtaking. From here on, the trail gets more flat, winding around some smaller ridges. After several more bends, Soya Peak and the Laudebina Pass appear on the horizon, as we reach the first few of the holy lakes. Those are an important pilgrimage site for both Hindus and Buddhists, especially during August. Legend has it Hindu god Shiva was poisoned in searching for water, as he poked his trident into these very mountains, creating springs that then of course formed these lakes. About 2 hours after our break in Laudebina, we finally arrive at the guest houses of Gosainkund.
Servus.
Hey there! Yeah, like we already hinted before, one detail in our plan didn't actually quite work out like we thought it would. You can see here behind my back Soya Peak. Actually, we thought that despite it being a bit higher than Chakori, it would be similarly easy to climb. The locals from Gosainkund then explained to us that this is not exactly the case. They said that there is not actually a trail going up, and that we would have to scramble over lots of big loose rocks for up to 6 hours one way. Also, when we were searching for a guide to get us up there, they asked for about $100. Therefore, we finally decided, with a heavy heart, to skip Soya Peak. At the moment, we're at a viewpoint near Gosainkund, about 200 meters above the lodges. It's an easy climb, it takes less than an hour, and the view from here is actually more than awesome. From here you can see all the areas we walked through before. On the left the Tamang region, and to the right there is Langtang Valley. And to the west you can see as far as the Annapurna range. In the foreground there's Ganesh Himal, then there's Manaslu Himal with Himal Chuli, and in the fog in the background you might be able to spot Annapurna 2 and Machu Picchu. We use the evening to look around the Shiva temples and shrines at the lakeshore. And we get to witness an unbelievable sunset. It seems like the sun is drowning in the lake. Maybe to make up for Surya Peak not wanting us climbing it? Meanwhile, Surya Peak towers over the village, looking like it's painted in blood red color. Under crisp, clear sky, we start the 2-hour ascent to Laurebina La. With Ganesh, Manaslu and Annapurna in our backs, we pass by several frozen lakes. Ruins of tea houses and many prayer flags mark the pass, sitting at an altitude of more than 4,600 meters. The hike down from the pass is way longer and a lot more exhausting than the way up. First, you climb down 1,000 meters to the tea houses of Piti, where a Thai Airways plane crashed into the mountainside in 1992. Actually, you can still find debris of this disaster here. After taking a break there, you descend about 400 meters more, just to immediately climb them back up to the tea house of Tupichaur, from where you will descend another 300 meters to finally reach the guest houses of Ghopte. As a standalone trek, you should plan 6 to 8 days for the hike to Gosainkund and across the pass. Traveling to the trailhead near Syabru takes about 1 day. You can find some tips on how to get there in our video about the Tamang Heritage Trail. A ride from northern Helambu back to Kathmandu takes at least half a day in a bus or a jeep, or 3 to 4 days on foot. The ticket to the Langtang National Park can be bought at the entrance in Tunche for about $30. In fall 2018 we didn't need a TIMS permit for this trek. Hiring a guide is also not compulsory. If you got a decent map, finding the right trail is easy. The Laurebina Pass sits at an altitude of over 4,600 meters. And that's also the main obstacle on this otherwise pretty easy trek. If you split your daily stages in multiple shorter ones to improve your acclimatization process, these short walks are all pretty easy. You can also split the descent to Ghopte by nearly in half if you sleep in Fidi. The trails on this trek are well maintained and very safe. If you ascend too quickly, however, altitude sickness can be a huge danger here. The fact that it's possible to reach 4,400 meters of altitude at Gosainkund in just 2 days from Tunche causes trouble, especially for fit people. We met several young hikers from Kathmandu who wanted to complete this trek in only a long weekend, just to end up lying around dead sick in Gosainkund's lodges. From there, the next street is 2 to 3 days away on both sides of the pass. That means, in severe cases, getting lifted out by a helicopter can be necessary. The guest houses in Thulo, Syabru and Shin Gompa are very comfortable. Further up in Laurebina, Gosainkund and Ghopte, lodges are more basic but still clean and well run. Without luxury items such as snacks, soft drinks or beer, you can estimate about $25 per person per day. Except for Thulo, Syabru, the villages on this trail are all rather small and focus mostly on tourism. So the cultural highlight of this trek without a doubt are the holy lakes with their temples and shrines. There are no especially high mountains around Gosainkund itself, at least not by Nepalese standards. However, the view during the ascent is mind-boggling. Annapurna Himal is more than 100 miles to the east, but we could still see it crystal clear. Also, going up the small hill behind the lodges in Gosainkund is very much recommended. From there you can see Manaslu, Ganesh and Langtang Himal. Apart from that, there are also the great lush forests in the lower parts of the trek around Shin Gompa. As you might realize listening to this, we loved every single step of this trek. It's certainly a great alternative to other one-week treks like Langtang or the Annapurna Base Camp. After about 7 hours hike, we finally reach Ghopte in the northern Helambu region. But from here it's still 3 long days of marching back to Kathmandu. And those we will show you in the next part. And in case you happen to be interested in that, please subscribe to our channel.